not guarding Chet Holmgren just because Rudy's propensity to drop into the painted area. Cat guarding Giddey.
Tuesday, November 28th, 2023, Oklahoma City played at the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the crowd was very displeased with OKC's guard Josh Giddey. Every time he touched the ball, they booed.
OKC's so happy to have Kenrich Williams back too from injury. Giddey throws it away here.
Yeah, Minnesota fans did not come to play, and every time he got the ball that night, that's what you heard. Now, why are they upset with Josh Giddey? Not only is Josh averaging nearly 15 points per game, 14.5 to be exact, but he's also averaging 15 off the court. Last week, photos surfaced on social media of Josh hugging a girl from behind, and she wrote in the caption, "Just F Josh Giddey." Legally, this wouldn't be a problem for Josh if she was a grown woman, but she's not. The girl in question is 15 years old.
Oh.
Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates.
Anything accurate, there's a potential distraction with Josh just in terms of a moment viral online, social media. Do you deal with that in any way? Do you concern yourself with whether that's a distraction?
Personal matter, and I have no comment on it. And that'll be my answer on anything related.
After Josh was exposed on social media, basketball fans started looking for answers. They wanted to know what was going on with Josh. What was he doing? How was the team going to respond? Well, you saw the response from his head coach. The coach said it was a personal matter and he wouldn't comment on it. Josh also said no comment. The original video posted by the team's media edited out those responses from the coach and Josh, but short clips still leaked out. Then you have folks notice how this situation was being handled by not only the NBA, but sports media, ESPN, sports commentators like Stephen A. Smith, Malika Andrews, Molly, and not just them, but everybody. And you started seeing comparisons between the media's response to Josh versus other players like Kyrie Irving, Ja Morant, and even Zion Williamson. And Josh is a starter on the team, very vital to OKC. ESPN tried to ignore this and kept moving like nothing happened until they saw this.
When it's Tank Davis, when it's Floyd Mayweather, when it's any other black man, as soon as the allegation come out, you cancel. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I said, I can tell you how the media is going to go about doing their business. They got three ways they do it. One, they either get quiet as a church mouse. They don't even mention it. Two, they release a statement, then don't mention it. Three, they bring up another black person with the same situation to kind of give it a pass for the other guy. That's how they gonna handle it. One or three of those ways. And then a part of that, bringing the black guy involved, they're gonna use one of their black media pundits of some status to kind of talk it up to keep black folks from getting angry. It's the simplest trick in the book. But I guarantee them Negroes that's in the media today, they finna be put in front of every black woman. And then them black women gonna think about whatever man did something to them, and they gonna take it out on that's in the news.
Shout out to Kwame Brown. If you want to see his full video, the link is below in the description. Now, Kwame was really going hard on this story before anybody else. People like Stephen A. Smith, they criticized Kwame and stayed on his neck for 2 decades. Imagine the media's reaction if it was Kwame or somebody like Tank Davis caught up in a scandal like this. Every misandrous blog, every traditional media outlet, everybody in sports media will be all over it. They wouldn't have to have evidence. They wouldn't need a conviction. The accusation alone, the words alone, will completely destroy them socially and financially. So not only did Kwame put heat on traditional sports media, Dez Bryant also had words for traditional media. On Twitter, Dez aimed at Malika Andrews. He said, "Malika Andrews, you went out your way to crucify Brandon Miller on draft day over something he didn't even do. Why haven't you said nothing about Josh Giddey? I advise you not to make this a black or white thing. Your parents really raised you wrong, and just because you went to a private school don't make you better. You a pill, and I know you're kind. You just a puppet. I don't know how a former or current player could sit there across from you and look at you with some kind of respect." And you know, why would any of these NBA players sit in front of Malika? And not just Malika, but any of them that's like her. Stop validating these clowns. So ESPN felt the pressure from social media. The first strategy to ignore it didn't really work. So they employed strategy number 2. They had Malika read a really stale statement. I mean, the anger that she had for Udoka, when she said that she was standing up for women, none of that energy was there. So Dez Bryant, he came back on Twitter. He said it was by public demand. They felt the heat. They waited forever to make a statement. Certain athletes get the privilege, innocent till proven guilty. Certain athletes are guilty until proven innocent. And by that time, who gives a F? You already got the label on you. Ain't nobody gonna tell me how this game go. It's sick. As usual, after all of the criticism on social media, ESPN had to push somebody out there to cover for the whole team. And of course, by doing this, they implemented strategy number 3. Stephen A. Smith came out to defend Malika, but not just her, really himself and the organization.
Now, let me say this to all of y'all out there who've been clamoring for me to touch on this subject. Y'all getting on my last damn nerves. Could you try to be responsible? Could you try? That's all I'm asking. What you want Stephen A to say? Oh man, where you at, Stephen A? If this was a brother. Wait a minute. I respect you, my brother, but that was a bit extreme. You see, without trying to get too involved in it, I feel compelled to get involved because I think that a lot of people are missing the issue involving Josh Giddey to begin with. Josh Giddey is being investigated for allegedly messing with a girl. We don't know the facts. The brother being investigated. He's from Australia. He's being investigated for messing with a girl. That's problematic. So getting on Malika Andrews about this, I believe, is off kilter.
And no, Stephen A., it's not off. Malika Andrews is a sports news host responsible for covering all NBA news. And even after all of her antics, she was promoted. The real reason why Stephen A. was upset is because everybody noticed the cha-cha slide y'all did around this Josh Giddey story. First, they ignored it until they were pressured into speaking on it. Then they released a statement, and now they have the top sports commentator on the network coming out to defend them. If I'm not mistaken, this is what Kwame said what happened. In that order. And how did he know, or how did Dez Bryant know? They know because they both had many years of experience dealing with ESPN, dealing with the media, dealing with Stephen A. and all the other talking heads. Which is why I don't understand why people continue to watch them. Stop supporting the network. Cut off the subscriptions. There are way better sports shows out there. So many online that's independent. To me, it's just crazy. There's been no real accountability placed on the network by the people. If any other group outside of black men were being targeted, they will be making them suffer the consequences. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. What do you think about this whole situation? Big shout out to everybody supporting the channel. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate you, Bruce, for your support, as well as Edmund, Selden GA Dogs, and Eric. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.